Hey, good morning.
Yeah, very good morning.
Hello.
Can you please turn on your video?
I will do that.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to the Global Virtual Summit 2026, Lizbeth. And I want to introduce you to our audience. Yeah, uh, Lizbeth Hamlin has been a practicing psychotherapist in Santa Rosa and San Francisco, California for more than 50 years. Her work is grounded in Jungian psychology and attachment theory, integrating EMDR, mindfulness, the creative process, and the somatic therapies to support the healing of relational and developmental trauma. A profound personal losses during her 30s transformed both her life and her work. Those experiences became the foundation for her understanding of resilience and her conviction that while loss can be devastating, it can also become our greatest teacher, awakening a deeper relationship with ourselves and opening the possibility for lasting transformation. In her private practice, Lizbeth has worked extensively with seasoned professionals, business owners, artists, couples, and women navigating breast cancer. She believes every individual has an innate capacity for healing and create a compassionate, deeply attuned therapeutic relationship where that healing can unfold. That was an interesting bio, Elizabeth. You have done a great job, and the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. First, I want to thank everyone who has put this together, all the technology, all the emails, all the WhatsApp, all the different ways that people have brought this together. So, I'm wondering if I can show my first slide. Is that possible? Where I can share that from? Share screen. And I put it in there. Um, Let me just see something here. Okay, I have it here. I just have to move it a little bit. Okay, here we go. Okay, you had it. I had it. Here's the, here we go. Hmm, share. Okay. Do you have my first slide? Okay, can you see this now? Okay, so I can't seem to get my slideshow going. I know I uploaded it. Here we go. One back, please. Great. Good. Thank you so much, everyone. I would like us all to take a breath. This is about our longing to become. It's our soulful journey of remembering who we are. I would like you, if you have it, just on a sticky, write down one or two words of how are you feeling and experiencing yourself right now. One word, two words, any part of that. And our time together is about returning. It's about going inside for a while. For nearly 5 decades, I've had the privilege of sitting with people navigating many aspects of their lives, of grief, of joy, uncertainty, love, illness, breast cancer, death of a spouse, of a child, and also beginnings, the excitement of new beginnings. So again and again, I've come to believe that beneath all of our struggles, there's a deeper longing, not to simply heal, but to become more deeply who you are. Our lives don't move in straight lines. They move in cycles. So I'm here today to invite us into the cycles of our lives. We're not here to become different. We're here to remember. So I'm going to start with a poem, Clearing, by Martha Postlewaite. Do not try to save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forest of your life and wait there patiently until the song that is your life falls into your own cupped hands and you recognize and greet it. Only then will you know how to give yourself to this world so worthy of rescue. Next slide, please. This is an invitation. This time that we are in our, wherever we are in the world, and we are in many, many places. We live in a culture worldwide that celebrates certainty, achievement, productivity, forward motion, action. But the soul, the deep soul, moves differently. It invites rather than demands. It asks to be listened to in the smallest way. Perhaps becoming is less about adding something and more about uncovering what is quietly waiting within us all along. You know, that small, silent voice that is with you all the time, but gets obscured by the busyness of life. Next slide, please. Life moves in cycles, seasons of growing, seasons of change. Life cycles are like the moon. Sometimes the moon is very full. We're full of all kinds of productivity and activities and events that it's overwhelming to keep up with everything, but we can feel the excitement and the bubbling that comes from when things are full in our life. Then there's a time that we reflect. We begin to go inward towards we know something is finishing. Something has shifted and we're going maybe towards the darker time of the moon cycle. Always listening to what is being asked. We find in these cycles of the moon that sometimes we have to go through our losses, our endings. And in the end, our psyche understands these cycles. And perhaps the healthiest way that we can be is to be with them and not push away and struggle against them, because that's where our suffering struggles. And I know in working with the people, the many people that have come into my life, in my practice, in my community, in speaking in lots of different formats, that the more we struggle against and resist what is just as it is, the suffering is deeper. So I often have people who come to me when they've tried everything and that suffering is great. And we have to loosen the edges and the threads of that. The psyche and soul understands the cycles. And perhaps we're just so good if we just can say, and this is it. This is fine. This is enough. Next slide, please. The chrysalis. We know that we cannot hurry anything. If we break it open too early, we'll destroy what is inside. The soul asks for patience. It asks for inner guidance and oftentimes a very good witness, a good friend, a guide, a mentor, a therapist, a spiritual leader, those that you can turn to when it gets unbearable, when you cannot bear that you have to wait. Waiting is one of the hardest things that the human condition has. It knows how to move from one moment to the next moment. And it wants to do that, sometimes jumping over what is really important. And waiting, there's no failure in waiting, in incubating. If any of you have incubated 1, 2, 3, or 4 children, how many children? You can't hurry that process along. There's an incubation in our ideas, in our thoughts, in our movement, in our life cycles, in the changes. And I remember being a small child, and it's like, oh, adulthood looked marvelous. It was like we were racing. I feel like I was racing to adulthood. Till then, now I'm in my wisdom years, in my mid 70s. And I went, wow, what happened to all this time? And yet it's in this listening, in this slowing down, in taking a pause. And it's often when our deepest work occurs. We have to feel and experience things. Our early childhood experiences form us. And I'm going to read this marvelous quote that I found just recently that I think really meets this. Our brokenness is also the source of our common humanity, the basis for our shared search for comfort, meaning, and healing. Our shared vulnerability and imperfection nurtures and sustains our capacity for compassion. Brian Stevenson. Our early traumas and hurts and difficulties, and as I say, a pivot happened. Many pivots happen on their own. They happen more in some ways to us. They're circumstantial. And yet it's powerful that we have to live in that transition, or what I call the threshold. We have these threshold moments. And we protect ourselves. We learned how to do that. That our nature is to feel safe and loved and cared for. But I bet everyone knows that that hasn't always been true. And yet, within these relational traumas or upsets or life changes, are the opportunity to build our resilience and ultimately compassion for ourselves and humanity, which is so desperately needed right now in our world. There's nothing wrong with you. These happen. And it's the adaptation of how our resilience and how our tenacity that our soul wants to emerge. It just wants to, because that's how nature is. All those little green shoots that come up after winter, I'm so touched by those. And the buds on my roses, I get so excited, but they have to go through this cycle. And so it's important to know what formed us, what these relational traumas or upsets were. It wasn't our fault. Life happens. And I really do believe that people really do the very best they can. And sometimes it hurts. And sometimes we still can heal from this and go on. And that healing expands our choices. It allows us to meet life differently. Next slide. Remembering the self. Thank you. Jung spoke of individuation. He spoke of the essentialness of what it was to listen to your soul's journey. We can't be anybody else. And let me tell you, I have tried to be somebody else. Oh, they have that and they have this, and compare myself to this person or that person. But ultimately, it's that mirror that we look at in our lives. And we have to say yes, yes to this remembering. And through safe relationships, compassion, our deep inquiry, we begin to release the old patterns. I often think of it as remembering who you are when your eyes wake in the morning, remembering when you are stopped for a second by beauty that is surrounding you. I'm here speaking to you from Northern California, a place of extraordinary beauty. And my property is lined with 6 redwood trees. And I bless them almost every day. Thank you. Thank you. And the times that I will just walk out in awe of a rose budding, an interaction that I've had with a neighbor, a session that opened my heart. These are those remembering moments of awe and how blessed we are to be alive in this world with all its difficulties and challenges, because we are resilient and strong. It's like a living from the inside out, and trusting what's in there is precious. In Mary Oliver's word, what are you going to do with your one and precious life? We have to ask ourselves again and again. Sometimes it takes finding that quiet place, a place of stillness, that where we can actually listen, not just to all the numerous thoughts that are going along that usually are giving us bad advice, as Mary Oliver used in her poem, The Journey, but to be still enough to recognize that you are a gift. And who we are is needed in the world. Next slide, please. What is this longing to emerge? Do you know what it is for you? Invite silence into your daily life. What is longing to emerge in your own life? You don't need to answer it. The question is more important than the answer. Carry your question. Where does it bring you inside your body? Does your mind become quiet just for a while? And this longing to become is really the longing to come home to yourself. And it's from there that the wellspring of how you are in all of your life changes. How your goals are met, how your goals are set, how you're realistic with your limitations, how you go past your edges of what you thought you could do one time or another. So I want to ask you again, like I did in the beginning, take a moment. What word comes to mind now? Might be a phrase, might be just one word. Take a breath and let that word and phrase emerge. I want to thank you, each of you, and particularly the organizers of this incredible event and how it is going to take us and connect us worldwide. I love this bowl because in Japanese tradition, you actually put that bowl back together with gold. And it's that you remember I am not broken and how important it is to walk alongside you and others that walk alongside you on this journey. And to not forget that you know who you are under all the layers of what life has brought you, and that you're here for a reason, and not to doubt that. You are uniquely you. And I have a last poem that I thought was just, I had it in my file of poems, which I always keep my poems active. And it just fits so much about what we're doing here. This longing to become who we are at the same time of connecting and healing and providing a format for many voices to become one voice. Thought of You by Julia Myers. The old threads are unraveling. Get your needles ready. We are stitching a new quilt of humanity. Each stitch a mindful meditation. Each piece of material a story. Threads of greens, blues, purples, colorful threads of peace, kindness, respect, compassion are being stitched from one continent to the next, over forests, oceans, mountains. The work, bring together a community under one colorful quilt, the new quilt of humanity. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lizbeth. Those are so interesting, and your insights are wonderful. And thank you so much for your valuable time today. And we have a questions from the audience, and we will post that to your email so you can respond there.
Okay, let me shift here. Okay, there is an email. Oh, I don't see it.
Yeah, we
Was
will
there?
post those questions to your email shortly. Okay, so
Okay.
can answer there.
And should I answer them then in my email, or is there any way that that question can be read now by you, Melinda?
Okay, give me a minute, please.
We have like 4 minutes here. Yes, I'm looking in my emails and I'm seeing nothing even in my spam.
Yes, Lisbeth, I'm asking
Mhm.
one question. Uh, what challenges have taught you the most valuable life lessons?
Mm, yes, you know, I did have this in my talk in a certain place. Is I was in my 30s, and I lost my primary family members, uh, grandfather, mother, father, father-in-law, mother-in-law, two grandmothers in a period of about 8 years. And so I became an orphan, without family. Yes, I had a husband, and at the time, who's now deceased. Um, but it's those early losses that I think was the introduction to what it is like to sit with people in incredible amount of loss and life change. That it wasn't on their dance card. Let's put it that way. It wasn't on my dance card that all those were going to happen. So it was that I think the becoming a mother, um, and you know, um, we went through in Sonoma County in 2017 extensive fires where within a period of about 4 or 5 hours, 7,000 homes were lost in a very short period of time. And it was a whole community of trauma. And so being able to be in my community and help my community to heal and also be available to people who were completely stranded and taught me a lot about resilience. And so I don't know if anybody of you know now that the fires in Canada are reaching the East Coast. And anyone who's in the East Coast, you're in masks, and the people in Canada are in masks. I've lived through this many, many times. And so my compassion and my longing to know that I'm with you as you're not breathing safe air, which is very different. And lastly, I think that aging, is now my teacher. It's really become my teacher, of what it is to I'm not still working. I feel so privileged to be able to work and be with people. And one of the things that my question or my inquiry is, may my presence be enough? Just being with people in whatever is on their edge of suffering. And so in that way, my work has become more of spiritual practice and more of what it is to have the capacity and that privilege to sit with another.
Yeah. Thank you, Elizabeth. You have an inspiring journey. You have come a long way. And thank you. Thank you so much for your valuable time today. And please be
Thank
on the
you.
backstage and join the next session, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye for now.